Thank you all for coming today. I'm going to teach you all about how to make a chocolate bundt cake. So 20 years ago, I stumbled on a recipe that became my husband's all-time favorite dessert. It's a double chocolate bundt cake. Since I own my own baking business, you might assume that this would be a complicated recipe from scratch. However, that's not the case. Today, I'm going to teach you how to take an ordinary boxed cake mix and turn it into a decadent chocolate bundt cake that tastes just like it came straight from the bakery. First thing we need to do is gather our ingredients. We're going to need a boxed cake mix. This recipe is for a chocolate one, so I chose a Devil's Food cake mix. You can see right here. This box has a deeper chocolate flavor that really brings out the richness of the dessert. However, you can choose any chocolate flavor that you prefer. Next, we need 2 small boxes of instant chocolate pudding mixes. Just like this one right here. And these are 1.5 ounces each, so you need to have 3 ounces total. Next, we're going to get a cup of sour cream, a half a cup of vegetable oil. You can also switch that out with butter. You can do a stick of melted butter. A quarter cup of water, 4 eggs, and 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. Again, my husband prefers the darker chocolate flavors, so I chose the Hershey Special Dark Chocolate Chips. It makes the whole process easier if you gather those ingredients and measure them out prior to getting started. Once that's completed, it's time to preheat our oven to 350. We're going to gather our baking equipment. You will need a round bundt pan, such as this one right here. While this is a non-stick pan, it is important to go ahead and spray that pan with some non-stick spray to ensure that the cake can be removed easily. We're going to set that pan aside and we're going to gather together a large mixing bowl and a mixing spoon. I start by mixing all the wet ingredients in the bowl first. So we're going to add our sour cream, our oil, our water, and our eggs all together, and we're going to mix those together thoroughly. You have the option of using a hand mixer or a large KitchenAid mixer, but I'm a bit of an old school baker and I prefer the hand mixer. Once they are fully mixed, you're going to slowly add in our dry ingredients. We're going to start with the cake mix first, and then we're going to add those boxes of chocolate pudding mix, and then we're going to start again. This mixture will start to become very thick and a bit more difficult to start. Keep at it until everything is fully mixed with no dry parts left. Use a little bit of elbow grease here. And last, we're going to add in those chocolate chips. While the recipe does call for 1.5 cups, I will advise you to measure with your heart here. Only you know how many chocolate chips are too many. Okay, so by now we should be fully mixed and we are ready to transfer it to that greased bundt pan. We're going to spread it evenly in the pan using the back of a spoon. And once your oven has finished preheating, we're going to place that pan in the center of the rack and we're going to set the timer for 1 hour. There's no need to check on it. You're just going to let it bake. When the timer goes off, you're going to grab your oven mitts and remove the cake from the oven. Don't forget the mitts. It should be smelling pretty amazing in your house right now. We're going to place the cake on the stovetop and we're going to allow it to cool for at least 30 minutes. At this point, you should choose what you will be placing your cake on. I use this portable cake carrier, just like this one right here. Since it fits the bundt pan perfectly, so we're going to take the bottom of that carrier or a plate, whatever you chose, and you're going to place this pan upside down on that bundt pan. So you're going to place the plate right on top, flip it right over. After you have made sure it's cool enough to handle, of course, then we're going to carefully flip it onto that surface. Ideally, the cake will release easily and be completely whole. However, there are instances when the cake can become stuck. If that happens, you're going to tap the bottom of the bundt pan with a butter knife, or you can actually take that knife and loose it around the edges. When it's all done, you have a beautiful chocolate bundt cake that tastes every bit as good as one from the bakery. I highly suggest pairing it with a scoop of vanilla ice cream for a perfectly delicious dessert. Don't be afraid to try new recipes using simple ingredients. After all, even Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa with nothing more than a paintbrush. And this is what your cake will look like. A beautiful chocolate bundt cake. Thank you all for coming.